one of the main decisions that I made this past week at camp is to let the motivation for my serving the Lord be through my love for Him, and that let not the reason that I serve Him be to please others or to be a good kid, but to serve God because I love Him and because that's truly what I want to do.
The decision I made this week at camp was to overcome bitterness and choose grace and forgive others.
This week at camp, I made the decision to trust God through everything and just to let Him lead my life. And I had to just really pray and think about what I need to do for the Lord and why I need to do it. And one thing that I was struggling with is that I was doing everything because I wanted God's blessings, and I wasn't doing it because He gave everything for us. And I was just doing it because I was just selfish, and I just wanted just earthly things. And I had to realize that what a mighty God we serve, and He deserves more. So
one thing Brother Kirschman said was that God always wants you back, and that just really spoke to me, that if even when you mess up and even when you sin and you think that God doesn't want you and you're scared to go back, that He always wants you back. And I just decided that even if I mess up and when I mess up, God just wants me back.
One of the decisions I made this week was just to realize that even though I will mess up and even though I'm not perfect and I'll fail, that God will always be there to help me back up and to restart in what I started to begin with.
Just like Jordan and Kristen said, this week I learned that whenever you want to get right with God, you don't have to be perfect before you start doing that, because God's the one that fixes you. You don't fix you.
At camp, I decided to do whatever I'm called to do, and I learned the importance and the need for prayer.
Camp, I decided to follow God's will and not my will, and that what I want might not be what He wants.
At camp, I decided to overcome bitterness
At camp, I settled some questions about my salvation with a counselor, and I also decided to get to know God in order to love Him. I always thought that, am I loving Him enough? Am I doing everything right? But in all actuality, all you have to do is get to know Him. And then also not to be scared about what God has for my life, for God's will. I have surrendered my life to the Lord, but not all the time do I think it's what's best for me, but to just realize that it is what's best for me. It's better than anything I can imagine.
At camp, I decided to overcome bitterness and choose the path of grace. And my favorite part about camp was the food.
I had one teenage girl, Rebecca Moyer, text me her testimony. She said, "This week at camp, I was convicted to fully put my trust in God's will. Now and in the near future, I have a lot of important decisions to make that will determine how the rest of my life will be. Up until camp, I had started to put my own desires before God's. I was afraid of God's will. At camp, I learned His will for my life is what I want most, and I just don't know it. God's will is the union of my identity and calling. God gave me my life, therefore I can and must trust him with it. He wants what's best for me. He wants to fulfill my hopes and dreams in such a way that surpasses everything I could ever imagine. After all, he knows me better than I know myself. The depth of his love cannot be fathomed. From now on, I want to do my best to seek his guidance and wisdom as I continue to run my race. Church family, do you want to know what excites God? That does. Teenagers getting right with God, teenagers getting right with their parents, teenagers who are saying, I want to love God with all my heart, I want to follow him. Teenagers that are settling their salvation, questions that they might have, doubts that they might have. But does that excite you?